What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, we're going to be comparing LANDR's online mastering service to Wave's online mastering service. We're going to go over what it's like to use each of the service, and of course, compare the sound, as well as comparing the pricing. If you're interested in any of these services, I will have a link in the description. The link for LANDR will save you $50 using my link. All right, let's get started. Okay, we'll start with the Waves online mastering service, and I'm not going to spend too much time going over these because I know everyone's here to hear what they sound like compared against each other. But just wanted to look at the user interface. Once you upload your track, on the left is where you're going to select your style as well as your tone, and then from there you're going to just create your master. And we can toggle between the master and the original, as well as adding a reference track. We can add a reference track here. And adding a reference track, the online mastering service will try to match that reference track to your song that you're wanting mastered. If you don't want to drag and drop, you can also click the new track in the upper right. And then style tone is going to be represented in this column. So if I select organic, for example, you see that switch to O. And then once you've created your master, you have the option to download it. And this is going to give you the option between Wave and MP3, as well as your, let's see the bit depth as well. We got 24 and 16, and we have a sample rate up to 96K. Okay, that's nice. All right, let's check out LANDR. Okay, switching over to LANDR, this is the dashboard for LANDR Studio, their subscription service. And the first option we have is mastering, so I'm going to select master track. And we've got a couple songs here. So when you first upload your track or song into LANDR, you're going to have a preview. It's going to tell you that the preview for it is ready. And then from here we have options. We have master, we have release, which LANDR Studio offers distribution service. We can download it and share it. And if we click these more actions, we have an option to get mixed feedback, which is $19, I believe, if you'd have someone from the LANDR team give you feedback on the mix. We can also organize it in folders as well, which is nice. All right, so once you hit the create master, we now get this master version that we have at top. Actually, let's go over the master again so we can see how it compares to Wave. So we get this pop-up. Very similar to Waves. We can toggle between the original and the master. We can volume match it. Have a reference just like Waves. We have 3 styles just like Waves, but we do not have the tone option like Waves, but we do have a loudness option where you can choose loud, medium, or high. So while I'm here, let's go ahead and talk about some differences between these. With LANDR, you do have that option to do the mix feedback, and also for the mastered version, here we go, when you download it, you have the option of MP3. You have to create a new format for the Wave. So if I go to master and I click create master, you can see with LANDR Studio, you have, I think it's 36 waves, credits for waves. And I mean, waves is in WAV file. And then you have unlimited MP3, whereas with the Wave service, you get the option for MP3 or Wave with that credit. Now, we also have where we can move it to a folder. Right now, you can't really organize on the Wave service. And I will say that once you tell it to create the master, LANDR does take a little while, where Waves was quicker. But one thing I want to point out that Waves does better than LANDR here is that if we go to master and we preview this, I can switch. Switching between these two creates just a slight lag that you'll hear.
Just like it's just like it's like it's just like it's just like.
So you can hear, you get that little bit of stutter going over to open with the Waves. I don't get that when I'm going through each of the options. It's instant. All right, let's look at pricing between these. So LANDR has their LANDR Studio subscription service, which is $11.99 a month. And you can see with that, you're going to get unlimited mastering, distribution, some samples, some plugins, as well as collaboration tools and courses. But if we're looking at just mastering, it's just a simple $7 per master, and that's going to include a Wave master. If you're on the studio subscription, you're going to get unlimited MP3 masters and 36 wave masters per year. All right, as far as the Waves pricing, I'm just on the Waves website. The Waves online mastering service, as of the time I'm recording this video, has not officially launched, so it's not up on the website yet. But Waves did send me what the pricing structure will be. So it's going to be $5.99 for a single credit, $24.99 for 5 credits, $59.99 for 15 credits, and $299.99 for 150 credits. So Waves is doing more of the bundle thing. The more you spend, the more credits you get, where with LANDR is just a single straight $7 per master. Now, do not believe there's any type of free trial with the LANDR, but with Waves, if you are a Waves user, you will be receiving, I'll say at least 1 credit. I still don't know how many credits Waves is going to give us, but to try it out. But I know you'll get, we'll say at least 1 credit right now to try this out. And with the Waves, you can upload your track and use that preview. So you can preview what the master will be. And I believe with LANDR, you can preview it too before actually purchasing a credit. Not 100% sure on that one. But that's the pricing difference between these two online mastering services. All right, so I'm in Studio One, and I've got the top track is the Waves, bottom track is LANDR. For metering, I'm using Sonable True Level, and this is an artist named Mellow Rose. I've downloaded an MP3 version of each of these masters. So let's look at the settings that I used. So when you download them, it tells you the settings in the file name. So for the Waves, I used the precise style with the depth and presence added. And for LANDR, I used the open setting and high for the loudness. So again, the blue is Waves, orange is LANDR, and you can see that in the metering with the plugin at the top. You see we got blue and orange. So I'm going to play this, and as it's playing, I'm just going to solo it and flip between the two so you can hear the immediate differences. We're going to start with the Waves.
Ooh, that sounds crispy.
She too fly with it. When she come across, people really vibe with it. Try to tell her when they ask, they ain't no secret. I was born with the sauce and with the season. Stop, watch, I'ma drip juice when I pull up, man, I own every room. Got them too turned up, yeah, you know how we do. Got them people talking, yeah, when I make a move. But no, I can't explain it to you. It's just like that. It's like Jordan ones, got them blessing the pavement. They thought I was done, I'm still sitting waiting. Boy, where'd you find? Don't need you to save me. I take my business serious, like Beyonce. I get more in a week than they can on the weekdays. It's just what I do. Get shorty in the back, right? I don't gotta ask, it's already mine. Ooh, they're asking how I do it. Well, it's all natural, natural. Now.
So between those two, what I'm hearing, the Waves is definitely more colored. The LANDR is sounding more open and brighter, which I selected the open setting, so I expect that. With the depth and presence, definitely more colored and more in your face with the Waves. Let's take a look at the metering and see what we've got here, which, as far as the metering, we're pretty close in everything. LUFS, dynamic range. So yeah, as far as the metering, these are both pretty much at the same level. We really don't have more than, what, a 0.5 difference between these. Oh, based on this sound, I think I'd prefer the Waves one for this track. I like the color that it's adding, but understand with mastering, it's not all about adding color sometimes. It really depends on which do you prefer, and definitely comment and let me know which one y'all prefer on this one. LANDR to me was cleaner but brighter, more open on the top end. Definitely more low end with the Waves as well. It just sounded more colored and bigger. But I did add that depth setting on the waves, which will add some of that low end that you're hearing as well. But really curious to hear what y'all think between these two. Which one do you prefer? Definitely drop a comment and let me know. And if you want to check out LANDR Studio, I have a link in the description that will save you $50 off of that LANDR Studio subscription. I have a link in the description as well for the Waves online mastering service. And if you're interested in this metering plugin that I'm using here, Sonable True Level, I will have a link in the description for that as well. True Level is nice because if we hit this level check, it's going to then check that level and kind of let you know what you need to do. Like we see, we've got 2 green. What's this? Loudness is good. Dynamics is good. Peak level seems too high. So yeah, we see we're peaking over 0 dB here, so it's wanting you to bring that level down some. But a really nice plugin by Sonable with this True Level. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.